there! Welcome to the second episode of the Spicy Homemaker podcast. My name's Melissa, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Spicy Homemaker, and I also have a website, spicyhomemaker.com. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so glad you're here. I'm so glad you can join me again so we can share the beautiful things we've made. This is a podcast mostly about knitting, but just also creative living. And with that, let's just dive right into some knitting. I would like to show you some of my finished objects, and I have to warn you, I'm cheating a little bit. So these aren't anything that I've actively worked on in quite a while. They are things that I've actually stumbled across and have decided to finish up maybe. So not 100% finished, but mostly, and you'll see what I mean. The first item is this little thing. It's the Mary Jane Bootie. I made these for my daughter. Well, I made a pair for my daughter, Ruby, when she was a baby. And this was the first one I made. And let me see if I can get that up there. Hold on. Don't know if that's gonna show up real good, but it is just this cute little bootie that I made out of Madeline Tosh with a little pearl button. She has her own pair. This was the first one, and I learned a few things, and I wasn't exactly entirely happy with this first one. However, it's been sitting in the bottom of a knitting bag, unbeknownst to me, until just today when I was preparing for the podcast. And I thought that I'm not sure about this part, I may actually try to embroider a snowflake on the side of it and use it as a Christmas ornament, because I have this vision. I want to have a Christmas tree for my art studio. And right back here is my desk, and I would love to put a tree back there and have little knitted items for decorations, like little sweaters and little socks and maybe a little bootie, stockings, just cute little things like that. I have a vision for two trees, to be honest. One tree would be filled with little knitted garments, mittens and scarves and sweaters and whatnot. And then the next one would be knitted snowmen and Santas and maybe stars and all the other things that fall outside of garments. We'll see how that goes. It's not something I want to have done all in one year. I want to add to it every year. So that's kind of my vision, and I think this would be a great first ornament to put on it. So, Mary Jane Booties. If you look me up on Ravelry as Spicy Homemaker, I do have that project photographed and some notes on there, not many. It's a free pattern by Lucy Sinkler, and I remember it being easy. It's been at least 2 years since I've made them. Try it out if you're looking for some. Oh, I made these to go with a dress I made her, the Clara dress, which is a really cute dress. Also in my notes pages, you can see that, or my Ravelry projects, I should say. Super cute. One thing I will say about this, so the yarn, Madeline Tosh Merino Light in the color Dahlia. Beautiful. This is a great, nothing has, it's never been blocked, it's never been soaked. The dress I made Ruby, which after she grew out of it as a dress, she was able to wear as a shirt for quite a while, it bleeds pretty bad every single time I hand wash it. And it's not as bright as this anymore. It's faded quite a bit. So I don't know if that's specific to this colorway or what, but just something to be aware of if you should try it. Beautiful color, single ply yarn. Loved it, very soft, but the bleeding is an issue, and it fades with time. So the next thing I have is also something I worked on, oh gosh, about a year ago this time. And I used to teach knitting classes at our local library, which was a lot of fun. So I tried to teach, well, I shouldn't say I tried, I did teach a class on knitting this baby sweater. And it is called the Retro Baby Smock. I think this is super cute. And I made one for Ruby, and this is not it. This was just for the class. And Ruby was too big by the time I made this for her to wear. So I want to put buttons on it and finish it up for a baby shower gift or just a new baby. There's a couple babies that I know that are being born that I think this would be a great gift. So it needs buttons, and this was so easy to knit too. It's all garter stitch. There's some wrapping and turning, which is not hard and is explained fully in the pattern. It is a $5 pattern on Ravelry, retro baby smock. Oh, I didn't put down who it was by. Maybe I can find that while we're still talking. Like I said, you can see it on my notes or my Ravelry projects page, and there's more information. But the yarn I used both times for Ruby's sweater and this one is Classic Elite Yarns Liberty Wool. I did US size 8 needles, and I used 2 skeins, even though I didn't fully use 2 balls of yarn for it. As you can see, there's all these fun colors in it, and there's different colorways, of course, and they're just numbers. The colorway are they don't have names. But for instance, see how there's this green and this pink and these blues, and then in the back there's some purples and greens, all these fun colorways. Every once in a while, a color like this will come up, this almost burnt yellow, or I should say golden color, which is fine. I don't actually remember it being too much of an issue on this particular sweater as it was for Ruby's. Ruby's was a slightly different colorway. It had a brown in it, and it just kept going on and on. You see how these are? They're just, I don't know, they're like maybe 10 rows of color almost. Well, the brown seemed to go a lot longer, so I actually would cut the brown and used the other ball, because maybe it started with another color that I wanted to add to the sweater, and just added that in to make a more pleasing, colorful garment. But this takes 2 buttons at the top, and I have some buttons, but not 2, so I need to find those and fast. I really want to get this done and out. I hate to have little garments like this laying around and nobody using them, although I do think it's a good idea to knit stuff like this and have it waiting, and so that way whenever you do have a baby shower, you actually have something ready to go. You don't have to actually knit it and be under a crazy deadline. Although when I knit Ruby's, it took 1 day. That was it. So it is a fast knit, and I also think this is a great way to knit a sweater first. Knitting a baby sweater is so much easier than knitting an adult sweater. You get ideas of how the construction works. You don't have to be as diligent about the sizing, which of course you do for an adult, because even if it's bigger, the baby can grow into it. It's just, I think, a great way to do it. And it gives you confidence. You can get it done quickly. You can find tons of them out there that's easy. If you mess up, who cares if you have to rip back? I mean, it doesn't take that long it's like knitting a pair of mitts. It doesn't take long to rip back and do it over. So if you've never knit a sweater, I would highly recommend knitting a baby sweater first. And this is just a great garment for confidence. It's just garter stitch. There's nothing crazy about it, but it just helps acquaint you with construction of sweaters. And yeah, it'll give you confidence to do a sweater for yourself. Don't be scared of them. And even if you don't have a baby, you're gonna know somebody who has a baby, and you'll be able to give this to them. So who doesn't like handmade gifts? That is all that I have for my FOs, which I know kind of cheated a little bit, but I really wanted to show you guys these. I thought you might like them. My next thing, works in progress. Okay, so I have my Rhinebeck sweater. Let's start with that. So my first Rhinebeck sweater didn't work out so great. It was too small. I showed you that last podcast. It was called the Hero. I am going to knit that again, but I have to tear it all out and start it all over. This one is in my Rhinebeck Sheep and Wool Festival bag. It's a little spin-off of the Rolling Stones magazine. I thought it was appropriate to put my Rhinebeck sweater in my Rhinebeck bag. And I am mostly doing this particular one because of Kristen from the Yarngasm podcast. She is having a featherweight cardigan knit along. And on Ravelry, she has hashtag FWKAL to post pictures. And I decided, I am joining her knit along, of course, and I am doing this in Malabrigo sock. And here's what I have so far. It's almost, the body's almost done. It stretches out quite a bit. Let me see if I, this is very, very stretchy fabric. I think I've measured it, but I actually think I might have measured, I thought I would only need 7 stripes, but I think I'm gonna need a couple more because I want kind of a longish cardigan. The Featherweight Cardigan by Hannah Fettig, if you look at the picture, it is also a paid for pattern. It's short. It goes right at the top of your pants. I don't want that. I want it a little longer. I kind of want it in the middle of my hips, maybe even a little longer than that, although with the time being the issue that it is, I probably won't go quite as long as I want, but I definitely will do longer than the top of my pants. These 2 colors that I have chosen, I believe I showed you guys these last week without the sweater. It's Malabrigo sock, and the colorway, I'm probably going to mess up this pronunciation, is Pokion, P-O-C-I-O-N, and I think it's Aguas, A-G-U-A-S. So I really liked the striped sweaters that I saw on Ravelry. The first person I saw with stripes was Laura from Jinx Yarns and the Dyer's Notebook podcast. I saw hers last year and I thought, okay, I do like that. I like that a lot. I wasn't really thrilled about the first picture I saw of the Featherweight cardigan, but when I saw it with stripes and saw it a little bit longer, I thought, yeah, I like that a lot. I can do that. So it's a lightweight cardigan. Not really much to it. A lot of stockinette stitches, and after this, I just do ribbing for the collar and then put on the sleeves that will also be in stripes. And I'm going to put the collar and the bottom ribbing in the blue colorway. So this Pokion, or sounds like I'm trying to say Pokemon, but this brown color here, it has so much going on in it. I'm gonna try to get a really, let me find, okay, here we go. This spot here. This pairs so well with this Aguas colorway because as you can see, it has, hold on, is it focusing? Some of that blue in it, little bits of it here and there. There's some shades of like a bluish green in there. Just really, really like these colors. And I'm really excited about these. So I am knitting these on my ChowGoo red lace needles. They're circulars. They're US 6. Did I say that right? US 6 size needles, or the 4mm. I still feel like that's not coming out right, but let's just roll with it. So my goal is to have this done before Rhinebeck. I fly out of here on October 16th to spend it with my friends, and yeah, I've been working on this a lot. Mostly monogamous. There's a little bit of other knitting going on, but not much. I've been forsaking a lot of sleep. I've been staying up really late. I work outside of the home and have 3 kiddos in the house. So there's been a little bit of suffering for this sweater, but I think it's gonna be worth it. So I cannot wait to show you the finished product. I am crossing my fingers that it goes really well. I hope the sizing, I think it's right. I swatched, I did everything right. I hope it works. So the other one I've been knitting on just a little bit. Okay, so Hermione's Everyday Sock. This was also something I showed on the last podcast. I did, let's see, I do have this one in my cat's kettle bag. It's a Japanese knot bag, which I love for socks. This is probably got a really colorful inside, and I also showed you this last podcast too, but fun bag. She has a Etsy shop and also a podcast called Yarn 30. I am trying to also get these done by the time Rhinebeck rolls around. I'm gonna have to set up a schedule for this because this first sock, no problem. Second sock, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. So let's show you what I got. I've turned the heel, I've got that part, and I'm getting ready to do the gusset. I don't know how well you can see that. And this is a free pattern on Ravelry. Lots of people have done it. It's fun. It's got great texture on it. Just a little bit different than your normal vanilla sock. It has, I believe they call this the Eye of Partridge heel. Not in the pattern, but something that I did, a modification, is to slip the first stitch on every heel row so that when you pick up the stitches, it's just a lot easier. I did do that. I also have them, I dropped a needle, in this great little needle keeper, DPN keeper that I got on a swap. It was the Itty Bitty Knitters Ravelry group, Susan B. Anderson's group. She, the lady I swapped with gifted this to me, and I really, really like them a lot. It really keeps my DPNs from being unruly. If you've never used one, highly suggest it. I think Danny from the Little Bobbins podcast, she makes these. A lot of people are making them now. I don't know. Oh, the woman who gifted these to me, she got them at Stitches. So there's that. That's also on my Sundara yarn that was gifted to me by my friend Pamela. And cute little Notions bag that I got when I ordered Kat's Kettle bag. I got this from her shop too. Little fox. I thought that was fun. So there's that. Not a lot of work on it, but it's coming along. It wouldn't take long to finish that sock. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that that second sock will get done in time. Okay, this next project. Ooh. I almost showed you guys this the first podcast, but I didn't. So, it has a story. Rather long story. I'll try to keep it as brief as possible. You might have experienced this. You're a knitter. Lots of people know, to include non-knitters. And then someone in the non-knitting world has a person in their family, usually a grandmother, who's passed away, and maybe they crocheted or knit themselves. And they have all this yarn, and they don't want to give it to the Goodwill. They don't want to throw it away. They want to gift it to you because they know you knit. That yarn is it's the thought that counts. Let's just say that. I don't know about you, but every yarn I've gotten in that scenario has been lots and lots of acrylic yarn. And it is a very nice gesture that someone wants to give me their yarn from their grandmother, and I'm not going to say no. And I have used it for a variety of things. It's great for crafts for kids, and but I've gathered quite a bit of it. All this to say that my son Ashton, who's getting ready to turn 9 in a week, he has a birthday, of course, and we're going to throw him a little surprise birthday party. He asked me about 3 years ago to make him a monkey, and I made my nephew a monkey for his first birthday, and it turned out great. I used some really fun yarn from my local yarn store, and I had a great time knitting it. It took me a week off and on. It was just fun. The pattern that I used, Jerry the Musical Monkey, great pattern by, I think, Rebecca Danger maybe? I didn't write that down, but I do have the pattern right here. So, it's by Danger Crafts. So, here's the front part of the pattern. That's what the monkey looks like knit up. I used some funky, fun, variegated yarn for my nephew. He's 1. I wanted it to be colorful. It was green with like blue and yellow and had orange ears and a tail. It was fun. My son, when he asked me, I thought, oh great, yeah, I love knitting that. I'll knit that for you. And I thought, I'll use some of that yarn that I got from the friends that passed on their yarn to me. acrylic, you may not like it, but you know it lasts forever. I thought it's sturdy, it's great. This would be a great project. Oh, well, you probably already know this about yourself, or maybe you're okay with it. I don't know. I hate knitting with it. I loathe knitting with this yarn. This monkey has taken me a ridiculously long time to finish, and I have given myself a goal of finishing it by Ashton's birthday because he still asks about this monkey. And here's what's sad. Let's just start out with this. This should give you an idea how much I dislike this monkey, or this knitting with this yarn. I have lots of project bags like every knitter, and I keep it in this, a plastic Walmart bag. That does not say love. No, this is the opposite of love. And I do love my son, and I do want to make him happy and do this monkey, but this monkey, oh, wow. So let me just show you what I got. I have legs. This is an arm. I've got it almost completely done. Yeah, so here's a leg right here. I have the head, everything is done. This leg has, let's see what, geez, maybe 5 more rows on this leg and it's finished. And the only part I have left to knit, the ears, everything's done, is this part right here, that little tan mouthpiece. That wouldn't take that long at all. I just have to make myself do it. And I am going to make myself do this. When I come back and we meet again, I'm going to have a finished monkey, okay? I am. Jerry the Musical Monkey. Great pattern, lots of fun. You can see the one that I love to knit, the first one on my Ravelry project page, but oh wow. Pray for me. I'm gonna need it to finish this monkey, okay? That's all I'm saying. So, there's that. What else? That is, we're kind of flying right along, which is good because I have a lot of stash enhancement that I want to move on to. So, my stash enhancement, I am going to Rhinebeck, the Sheep and Wool Festival. It's huge, it's massive if you've never been. It's like the knitter's mecca. It's fantastic. There's so much yarn there. Just stall upon stall. Oh gosh, 12,000 people went last year. It's huge, it's amazing, it's wonderful, love it. I know I'm going there. I know I'll buy yarn, but for some reason, I am buying yarn like mad right now. I can't stop myself. I might need an intervention. I just may, I'm just saying. It's getting out of hand. There's more coming. I showed last week's yarn enhancement, or stash enhancement. Let me show you what I got for this week. Like I said, there's more coming. So, gradient yarns. This is something that's really grabbed my attention. And it's not the gradients that looks like stripes. You know how you see balls of yarn that say they're gradient, but really they just come out looking like stripes. I like the ones that the colors actually fade and shift into each other. No idea how they dye like that, but it's amazing, and I think the finished product is beautiful. So I did a lot of research, and I came across, I think it's Wolof? It's obviously very German, and I've seen, they have some great products, or finished products that show some of their colorways, and I really, really like the shawl that was knit with this. It's called Antarctica. And it's 80% merino, 20% nylon, and there is their tag. Let me get that a little closer. Come on. And I thought I knew what I was going to knit with this. I was thinking the Perfect Retreat shawl by Susan B. Anderson, because I am going to be going on a retreat in November, and I love her concept behind that shawl. And she designed it for retreats, although clearly you can knit it anytime you like. But you set it up at home. I think you do the first 6 rows at home, the setup rows. And then it's all garter while you're at the retreat so that you don't have to think about it. Because if you've never been on a knitting retreat, I don't know why. I think the first retreat most people go to, you think you can knit something a little complicated, and you can't because you're talking and you're having a good time. So you need something mindless, like a vanilla sock or a garter stitch shawl. Well, she knows that most people don't want just a garter stitch shawl, so the intent is that you knit all the garter part at the retreat. And then when you come home, there's a fairly simple lace border that goes around it. And so while you're finishing your shawl at home, you think of the retreat and the fun you had with friends. And that's what I thought this would be. And it still may, because I really like that concept and I really want to take it to the retreat and have something like that to knit on. But I don't know. I've seen some other shawls that I think would go really good with this yarn. So that's still up in the air. To be determined. Okay, my next stash enhancement. Let's talk about my Jinx yarns. Okay, I have never been able to get any Jinx yarns. And not only did I get Jinx yarns this time, but I did a pre-order with her. And did I order some more? I don't know. I've got at least one more shipment of Jinx yarns coming in. So Jinx yarn is, this is made by Laura of the Dyer's Notebook podcast. Love her. So this one is, here we go. Winter Wonderland. And, oh, is that coming out? Oh, yeah. There we go. I love her label too. It's got, it's her Glitz sock self-striping in her Winter Wonderland colorway. 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% stellina. She's having a Socktober knit along for the month of October. And you have to knit with Jinx yarns. Any sock, you want a pair of adult socks and have it finished by the end of the month. She has a thread open on her Ravelry group under Jinx yarns. And I really thought that I was going to knit with this. And this is same thing, not the same thing, Power Sock Self-Striping in Jinx Palette. There's no stellina in it. It's just 75% superwash BFL. I didn't realize it was BFL. And 25% nylon. Oh, I'm really excited about this now. Not that I wasn't before, the Winter Wonderland made me more excited than I thought it would. So anyways, there's this. This is her Jinx palette. There we go. This has got a lot of fun colors in it. It's got greens and blues. It's got like a true blue, a dark blue, a deep red, almost like burnt leaf color in here. There's browns and there's just all kinds of fun stuff going on in here. And don't know if I'm going to knit socks for myself with this or for my boys. I've really been wanting to knit socks for my son Kyland, who is 13, and my son Ashton, who is 9. So jury's still out on this. I'm not really sure. However, for this October, I am definitely knitting with these. I think these are fantastic. There's light grays. There's even almost looks like there's sometimes hints of cream in there. And this really pretty blue with all this. It just reminds me of a sparkly Winter Wonderland, very appropriately named. So I'm going to knit these, and these will be my Christmas socks. And have to have them done by the end of October. And I'm going to have these to knit during my Rhinebeck weekend with my friends. I want to do a vanilla sock pattern, and I'm going to try Susan B. Anderson's How I Knit My Socks. That's my next vanilla sock pattern. Like I said, I think I said in my first episode, I still don't really have my sock recipe down. So I want to work through some vanilla socks and really get that down so I know what needle size I go to, how many stitches I cast on, you know, what's the best recipe for me. And I want to try out a bunch of different heels. Right now I do a lot of, I shouldn't have a lot, I'm only on my second pair of socks, but I knit them cuff down. I will try a toe up eventually as well. I don't really have a preference now, but we'll see. Also, I ordered her grain bow. It's a self-striping yarn. This is self-striping. Both of these are self-striping yarns as well. And that is not easy yarn to get a hold of. If I remember correctly, I heard a story on the Proverbial Knitters podcast. she was somewhere that Jinx Yarns was being sold by Laura. Okay, I have no idea where that stopped. I think I got it in time, hopefully. I'm still working out the technology issues and learning very, very quickly. But what I was saying about Grainbow yarn, hopefully that was on there, that I'm getting from Jinx Yarns, I've ordered, is that on the Proverbial Knitter, she said that she noticed that the yarn harlot, Stephanie Pearl McPhee, who is wicked funny. I've met her at Squam. Love her. Gosh, I love her sense of humor. If you've read her books, you know. I mean, she's just hilarious. But she bought a skein of the Grainbow at this particular festival they were at, Yarn Place. I'm not quite sure where they were. And so she hurried up and bought one because she knew that this would be extremely popular because the Yarn Harlot bought it. I don't know if that's why it's popular or not. It is a really cool colorway. I'll show you when I get it, but it is. It's always sold out. She does pre-orders on it. It is one of her more popular colorways. She's very, very talented. You should check her out. She's got a page where it shows all her colorways. They're just amazing. She's fantastic indie dyer. Speaking of fantastic indie dyers, another person that I watch quite a bit, Kristen from the Yarngasm podcast. Woolen Vine Yarns. I have ordered one skein from her before, and I have not knit that yet. It was one of her Misfits water sprites, which I love. The Misfit skein. Gosh, I wish I had it. I could show you. It is a very, very pretty skein of yarn that I wish was a regular, actually. But I got one skein, so I'm happy. I also ordered from her, I don't know if I have a thing for her Misfits or not, because this is another Misfit. It's the Misfit Fang Banger in her Fang Banger colorway in Volca, her Volca base. It's 80-20, no, not 80-20. It's 80% merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. Ooh, it's fingering weight yarn. Ooh, this is very soft. I'm just gonna pet this for a while. But I think this is fun. This is kind of like a muted candy cane in a way. So I think these might be Christmas socks. And I want to knit Ruby some socks. She wears little anklets all the time, and I think it'd be fun to knit something for her with these two. I'm sure I'd have enough for her as well. We'll see. And then I got a same base, Volca base, fairy hair colorway. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't think I'm going to make socks out of this, although they would be very pretty socks. I think I really want to knit something for Ruby with this. I have no idea what. I don't know if it'd be stripy or I don't know. I don't know if I'd pair it with something else. I really don't know. But this has these very soft blues and lavenders and pinks, and then there's, oh, like a soft peachy orange color, or apricot. There's just a lot going on in here, and it's like subtle changes. I don't know if you've ever seen this. And I also want to get, she has a new colorway that I saw on her podcast, and I don't know what she named it. She didn't have it named when she showed it, but it was based on a picture she saw of acorns, which sounds maybe a little odd, but when she showed the skein, it was beautiful. It was way more than just brown going on in there. Gorgeous. Love that new yarn, that new colorway you have, Kristen. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, and I will have some. I have her button. And why am I showing you this? Well, first of all, I really like her. She's a lot of fun. She's a great podcaster. Come on, focus up for me. Oh, I don't think it is. There it is. Okay. And she's going to be at Rhinebeck as well with Laura from Jinx Yarns and a few other podcasters. They're going to have a podcaster meetup on Friday night. They have in another town right next to Rhinebeck called Indie Untangled, something like that. It's a trunk show for indie dyers. And they're going to be there. And Kristen, I'm going to definitely say hi. And I'm going to have your button with me because we should meet. We should meet. And Laura too. And anybody else. Some fantastic podcasters. One of the reasons I started podcasting is one, I love the community that's out there. I really do feel like it helps us to connect better. And two, I definitely wanted to do it this year because there's a lot of new podcasts this year that I think are fantastic, and I kind of wanted to be a part of like class of 15, you know, 2015. You know how in high school you had class of whatever year you graduated. Well, I'm going to say the class that we started in. So I want to be part of class of 2015. Includes Maria from Stitched in Sweden, fantastic podcast. Who else? See, I don't want to say other people that I know, because I don't exactly know when they started, and I might mess that up. They might be 2014. So I don't want to offend anybody if they didn't start this year. But I know Maria did, and gosh, who doesn't love Maria, right? But anyways, I am rambling a bit, but I am excited to meet them. I'm excited to be a part of this community. And oh my goodness. Okay, so something else I got. I told you guys I've been shopping a lot, too much. Maria, I ordered your kit. So, ooh, and I ordered a kit from Molly. Is that right? From a homespun house? Why am I blanking today? So, I wanted some progress keepers. I don't have any. And I wanted some fun stitch markers because I would use these as stitch markers as well. I dropped one, hold on. Okay, so I have from, says Stella Kaminsky is the owner of the Little Nitty Bird. There's her card. And then I'm gonna turn around, let's see. I probably should have did this first, huh? Come on. I apologize if this is not, you know what? I have been having some ideas on how to make this better. See if that helps. There's gotta be a better way to get stuff to focus faster. And I do have to learn how to, there'll definitely be show notes here eventually. I'm guessing not a lot of followers right now, so I can be a little bit more on the technology side until I get this up and running. So I haven't really put show notes out there, but I have no problem doing that. And then I also really like the podcasters who include the information at the bottom of the screen. That's coming your way as well. But here's what she has. These are so fun. So these are like classic novels, right? Here, let me do one at a time. Pride and Prejudice. Oh, come on. There we go. And it comes with some other fun ones with it. There's, let me see how many of these I can get up here. So there's Pride and Prejudice, Jane Eyre, and Romeo and Juliet. So let me show you these, if I can get them up together. There we go. See those? I think that's showing up pretty good. They're super cute. Okay, and then the Jane Eyre one looks pretty similar as well. And they're really light. These are big, but light. Come on, focus for me. It's focusing on all the wrong things. I can't get it to go. We'll get better at these. Maybe I can insert pictures or something. And then also, I got these. I thought these were really pretty. So, oh, they're all together. So you have like a little leaf one and I don't know, it's like a little crystal ball with blue in it and little roses inside. I just thought these were really pretty too. So, come on. Let me take my ring off because it's wanting to focus on my ring for some reason. All right. Come on. Okay, so hopefully you get the idea. Is that it for stash enhancement? I believe so. Let me look. Yes, I think it is. So that is that. Let me show you. Not let me show you. Let me talk about another segment I'm thinking about putting in. I'm going to call it Keeping It Spicy. And this segment is meant for learning something new, trying something new, planning for something new, because I really do believe that knowledge is power. And knitting, there is so much to learn in knitting, and just being creative. There's always a new not task. That sounds like I'm at work. A new thing to learn. Gosh, lack of a really bad creative word. So I want to share, sometimes it'll be something that I've learned, sometimes it's going to be something that I've planned. But for this week, I'm going to show you some things I've really been thinking about, and I want to have started or tried out before October's out. So there's two things. There's more than two, but I thought, let's keep it to the two that you think you'll probably do, because sometimes I can plan a whole lot, but there's only so many hours in a day. So, babies. I said there's lots of babies around here, and people are having babies, and I love it. And I love making stuff for people who have babies. I knit the baby vertebrae when I was pregnant with Ruby, my daughter. And she never wore it. I didn't put it on her, and I don't really even have a good excuse why. It was blue, and that doesn't bother me, putting blue things on little girls. I didn't know what she was until she was born. It was going to be a surprise. It was a surprise, I should say. And it's very similar to this blue that I'm using for my Featherweight, but this is not the same blue. However, the fabric very much came out like this. It's just stockinette. And so I have this brand new sweater that Ruby never wore, and there's a baby girl coming, and I thought it would be really cute because she doesn't like pink. So that kind of makes it fun. She loves purple, but I don't want to lose this, I don't want this baby vertebrae cardigan to go to waste. So I was trying to think of some things I could do to kind of spice it up a little bit, because right now it's kind of plain, and it'd be fine, but I'm thinking, I don't embroider, but I want to learn. And I thought it'd be really pretty to embroider up the back of it. I don't know if you've seen the baby vertebrae. I believe it's a free pattern on Ravelry. I'm not really sure. I can't remember anymore. Also on my Ravelry project page. But it's meant for little bitty babies when they usually like to curl up on their stomach and they ball up. And so this is almost like a blanket cardigan. It doesn't close in the front. It's not meant to. It's meant to be a blanket cardigan, for lack of a better word. And it's super cute, and it works really well. But I thought it'd be really cute to embroider on the back of it going up, little, like a dandelion, that has the little, the ones you blow when they go all over, and maybe I've seen some really pretty embroidery that shows what I'm thinking of, with little pieces of it going up the back of it. That's what I want to try to do. And I think this swatch for my Featherweight cardigan would be an excellent piece to try it on. Swatching, I am always going to keep my swatches for all kinds of things. I think they're great for practicing things you want to attempt on. And that's what this is going to serve. Another thing that I want to try, this is not a book review. I have not looked at this book really carefully, so I just want to say that right now. However, I read about this and I was intrigued right from the start, and the stuff I saw online, I was impressed. I had to get this book. It's called 55 Christmas Balls to Knit, Colorful Festive Ornaments. And this is by Arnie and Carlos, of the Arnie and Carlos that makes the really neat, will it show up? Shows the really, they do that really fun yarn for Regia. And I want to knit a few of these this year. I've never done anything like this, so this will be new to me. I'm thinking it can't be hard, but you make a ball and you stuff it, and it's for Christmas. But I want to show you kind of what they've done. They've done a lot of Scandinavian designs in here that I think are really cool and classic. So this one's called the Snow Crystal. I kind of highlighted a couple of my favorites. Ooh, there we go. And let me show you another one. Okay, so I like both of these. This is the Selbu. I don't even know what that means. And the 3-leaf clover, which actually kind of look like, almost like winter berries to me. So that's the 3-leaf clover one. And, ooh, I probably should do, yeah, here. That's the Selbu. I'm really liking, let me see what else that's in here that I've marked. Oh, okay, so I think this would be really neat as well. So they showed, this is not a, I don't think I would do it in this fashion, but I like the idea of adding crystals to it, as they did here. It's a little Christmas tree. Well, that's really neat. I like that. That would be fun to do. And there is, how many pages are in this book? There's over 100 pages, so there is lots. I mean, I think almost every page has 1 to 2 ornaments on it. I mean, there's a lot going on in this book. This is well worth its money. Okay, I'm not gonna knit these this year, I'm sure of it, but I think these are fun. They have animals in here. So these are running reindeer and reindeer, and I just thought these were really fun and interesting. That's the, I think that's the one, the reindeer. Here's the running reindeer. So let's see how much, I bought this on Amazon and I don't know how much I bought it for. I want to say something like $24. Don't quote me on that. I don't even see a price tag on here. But this is on my list for this year. I hope I knit more than one, but I wanted to knit at least one. And it might go in a box for Christmas. I'm doing another Christmas swap with Susan B. Anderson's Ravelry group, the Itty Bitty Knitters, IBK. They are such a fun group. I highly recommend their Ravelry group. They are so active. They do so many cool things. They always have swaps going on and gift exchanges, and they get together a lot. And there's people from this group all over the world. We have some in my area that I haven't met yet that I would love to meet, and I'm sure we'll probably get together soon. They got together in this area, I believe last year. So I would love to meet some of them, and I think this would make a great addition for the Christmas box I'm putting together, and also for the Christmas tree I want to have. But so 2 new things that I have planned for myself. The embroidery is the really big new thing, and I really been wanting to. I have a sampler too that I bought from, it's the Posy Gets Cozy website. Alicia Paulson, love her work too. Actually, she's the one that gave me the idea for the retro baby smock to include the colors and the yarn. I loved her so much that I did the exact same yarn colors that she did for Ruby's sweater. But I have a embroidery sample from her shop that I got for Ruby, and I still haven't done that. But maybe this will kind of set the ball in motion, you know, and get it going, because I really do want to learn to embroider. I don't know that I would do it all the time, or do it very, there's some very intricate large pieces you can do. I don't really see myself doing that, but I do see myself adding to pieces I make, or little samplers. I think it'd be a lot of fun, and I think it would be a great skill to add to my closet, you know? I have no idea how long this went. I've been meaning to keep timers, hopefully not too long. I don't think it did, but I think we'll just wrap it up right there. I don't know if my next podcast will be next week. Right now I'm kind of shooting for every 2 weeks, only because I don't know if I'm gonna have enough stuff to show in 1 week period, but we'll see, we'll see. I would really like to do every week, because I really enjoy this already. I know that it's a learning process. I hope you stick with me, and I hope I get to know more about you. And if I don't podcast next week, Rhinebeck's the weekend after that. I have an idea to maybe podcast while I'm there. I don't know. So it's a little bit dicey right now. The next episode will come out, I promise, but we'll see when. I'll hopefully something in the next 2 weeks at a minimum. So we'll wrap it up there. While we're away, create something beautiful. We'll get back together, share what we've made, and I will see you then. Bye now.